we're 2/3 of the Vintage Caravan.
Yeah, Alex couldn't be here. He is having scuba diving lessons.
So let's begin.
Let's begin. The album is recorded in an Icelandic studio called Sundlaugin, which is a great studio previously owned by Sigur Rós. It's just become a legendary studio here in Iceland, and it's full of great equipment, great history, great surroundings, sounds great, and yeah, that was a easy choice for us.
I'd say Gateways is different just because, I don't know, I guess it's just kind of, we just scrapped together all the things we learned from the previous albums, you know. It has some difficult, like, progressive chapters, but it also is more of a, has also more straightforward moments when it's, you know, I guess it's focused more on just the songwriting aspect, you know, making a good song. That's what we try to do.
Of course, there's different surroundings, different producers, different me.
Yeah. The first album was Stefan on drums.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of new stuff on the album, and I think one thing that's different, maybe like lyric-wise, was just you know, with songs like Innerverse and that kind of stuff, we kind of felt our reaction from our fans, at least, that, you know, that song kind of helped them in a way. You know, that's one of the biggest compliments we can get. You know, that kind of help somebody through a difficult time. And I think what's different about this album, I think, in a way, there are more like sincere, heartfelt, not heartfelt, but like more like personal songs, I guess, in a way. So yeah, it's one thing that's different. We've referenced the Band of Skulls albums a little bit, you know, through the years. We were like, wow, those albums really sound great, and we quickly found out about Ian through that. And you know, he's just has a thing where he, like, every band he works with just sounds better, you know, and we wanted better. Like, try to enhance our sound as much as possible. He has just a really good ear, and after a quick Skype call with him, we figured out that we were definitely on the same page, and definitely don't regret that.
Yeah, from there I think it was a no-brainer. He definitely brought a lot of professionalism and creative experience to the table. For instance, we had a little problem with cymbals in the studio. The cymbals were too loud and the room didn't accept them as much as we wanted to. And he suggested that we used some sponge pads, so we would have no cymbals in the first foundation, and we overtopped with cymbals. That was something I've never heard about before, but worked really well.
Yeah, then we were able to get the best drum sound and the best cymbal sound, and try to combine it into a good one. And definitely Ian also, I think, brought the best out of me as a singer. We just something clicked, you know. Sometimes we would disagree, of course. I'd be like, oh, this song should be sung more aggressively, and he was like, no, it's not, and he was right. You know, pretty much right all the time. So it's a good guy to have in the studio.
Definitely.
You know, we spent a lot of time trying out new stuff. We tried out, like, for every single song, we tried to figure out what was the best thing for that song, you know. So we, like, I think Stefan used, like, what, 10 snares?
Yeah, overall? I had about 10 or 11 snares to choose from, and I think every single song had different snares or tunings or
bass drums.
Bass drums. We have about 5 bass drums to choose from. So we definitely spent a lot of time to make sure everything sounded as best as possible.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well,
it was long.
Yeah, because, like, of course, Arrival coming out in 2015.
And me coming in 2015.
Yeah.
We weren't able to, like, fully compose whole songs until I mean, we started in 2015.
Yeah, we did.
something.
Yeah, that was basically normally when I'm in writing session mode. Then there's never a quiet moment in my brain. There's always something like this could be a better chapter here, and this try to tweak things. And after Arrival, I had silence in my head for like, I guess 4 months, something like that, and it was nice having a bit of silence after a long time of creating stuff. And then it started again. Damn voices, you know. Because we were touring quite heavily. We did like around 100 shows, 2014, 15, 16. And we're not the kind of band that writes a lot on the road, but I think most of the work, because like we decided after that heavy period it took 6 months from January till January until June that were just kind of off, and I spent a lot of time just running and drinking coffee and writing stuff, and you know, all that stuff was brought into rehearsals, and we all hashed that out together and found the best things, you know, for each thing, you know. So it was it was a long process. We would have wished it could have. I remember saying after Arrival, like, because there's 3 years between Voyage and Arrival as well. And I was like, not going to be 3 years again, but hey, 3 years again.
Yeah, some of the ideas were as old as from 2015.
Yeah,
that maybe didn't make it to the album, but some of the songs were as young as 2 months prior to the studio. So
yeah,
it was kind of a spread process, but mostly in 2017, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
We did most of the work.
There's one thing that we kind of took from one of the songs that didn't make it to Arrival. That was I had the riff for Reset. The chorus from Reset was basically this like foundation of one song that we did for Arrival. But that was probably it's the oldest part there. Just use that part because it's good.
Transcend yourself and transcend time. Yeah.
At first, I think we didn't want to keep like a theme going, like an obvious theme of you know, the traveling theme, but this name came at us, I think, from Alex. He was watching a documentary about something. A cult. And this name kind of stuck with us. And originally it was supposed to be Gateways and
Gateways and Reflections.
Gateways and Reflections.
But we figured out that was the original title, but we kind of were like, yeah, that's a mouthful. We're gonna have to say that name a lot.
Yes.
So yeah, we stuck with Gateways, and I think it's nice because like it kind of continues the theme of movement, you know, the Vintage Caravan albums being, you know, the Voyage one, you know, and an Arrival, and now Gateways, and it has kind of, the theme is basically movement, I think.
Yeah, it's a journey.
Yeah. Flies, fucking flies.
Shit flying in my mouth.